Hey everybody, it's Ben here, and I just watched Ford's live Ford Model T moment announcement about the future of electric vehicles. It was about 48 minutes long. You don't have to watch it. I'm going to show you the highlights. So here's what you need to know from this announcement. So let's take a look. The first thing that Ford did was they had a video of archival footage talking about the Model T and how it influenced cars right up to our times. Not just the fact that it was affordable, people who worked at Ford could buy it. It was versatile. You could have one as a car, you could have one as a delivery truck. Also, how the assembly line revolutionized the way that things are made right up to this day. So, the whole point here was really Ford saying, look, this is the next big thing, and it's every bit as important as the Model T was. So right off the bat, the CEO came out. He started talking about investments being made, a $2 billion investment in Louisville, Kentucky. Uh, Also, the numbers of the other investments that they had done so far. But the big thing really was the announcement that this was not just going to be a new vehicle coming out, but that it would be a universal EV platform. It'd be something that they'd be building their future electric vehicles on. I kind of loved that they had a Model T pickup truck right there, cool truck. Again, the idea that this would be versatile, and also that the first vehicle from this universal platform is going to be a mid-size pickup truck. It's going to be coming in at $30,000, and it will have power out, so that vehicle to load, vehicle to whatever you want to do with it feature, which I think is fantastic. And it's going to be one of those things why people buy EVs instead of internal combustion engine vehicles. So after the CEO was there, they had out the governor of Kentucky. Again, a lot of rah rah, but also talking about the investments that are being made there. I love that because it means that everybody's going all in on electric vehicles. It's not compliance cars, it's not a mandate. It's because of competition, it's because of Tesla really getting the ball going here in the US of real world electric vehicles. And internationally now, China, they're making some amazing vehicles, and the other manufacturers just need to be able to compete. There was also mentions right away that this new vehicle would be a skateboard design. I loved the Ford Maverick when that came out, and it was pretty slick that there was a hybrid version of it. But I thought, it's a shame that they didn't have an electric vehicle version. I probably would have ran out to buy an all electric Maverick. But probably the reason why the electric Maverick didn't happen is because Ford was working on all of this behind the scenes. After the governor, they had the Doug Field, the chief EV officer of Ford, come out. He looked a little nervous. I don't think he's a great public speaker, but the things that he had to say were pretty good. Talking about this new lineup, talking about the electric vehicles. Some of the things that we started hearing about in the manufacturing portion here would be there were hints about reducing the wiring, not just the length of the wiring, um, but also the diameter. So this sounds to me something kind of like going to a higher voltage than 12 volts. So maybe the new vehicle is going to have a 48-volt system? I don't know. Sounds kind of Cybertruckish, if you ask me. It's going to be lithium iron phosphate batteries. And there was mention that the battery serves as the floor of the vehicle, which makes me kind of curious. How easy is it going to be to replace the battery in one of these things? Is the whole vehicle going to be a little bit more disposable if the battery is really kind of more of a structural part as well? It sounds like things are going to be a little easier for the folks working there, that everything would go through, nothing would have to go through a window or door opening anymore. So easier for the workers, uh, quicker, better manufacturing. There's going to be outlets in the back. The vehicle will be able to power your home. And cost-wise, it's going to be a 3-year-old Tesla Model Y. Traditionally, vehicles were built on assembly lines. They're talking about an assembly tree now, having 3 major parts that all come together to create the entire vehicle. So what's that going to be? Is that going to be battery, driveline, and then you slap the body on top? Something along those lines. I might not have that exactly right. Maybe somebody more involved in car manufacturing could tell me. Another thing they talked about here too was large castings for reducing the number of parts in the vehicle. The new vehicles will have 1/4 of the parts, 1/3 the welds, half the fasteners of an internal combustion engine vehicle, and they'll have removed 3/4 of a mile of wiring. After the talk of the manufacturing, they did bring out some UAW automotive workers, and there was a pretty long section where the audience was really the workers. And I think this is pretty interesting because if we can build cars differently so that it doesn't just make them less expensive, more accessible for the rest of us, but it also helps the workers, reduce work injuries, less rotating and stretching, workers not having to reach as far. A lot of that sounds pretty good. The only new vehicle in my life I have ever bought as a new vehicle was our Chevy Bolt EV, and one of the reasons for that was it was made in Michigan with union workers. I knew the people that built the vehicle were earning a good living. They had a lot of the protections. So just knowing that the people building my car were doing a good job and they were treated well, that meant something to me. So I was really glad to see this entire section here with the union workers. And then pretty much at the end of the presentation, they did a sneak peek. Now, it wasn't a sneak peek of the vehicles for us. What they did is they had some Ford employees get to take a look at the vehicle, which we still don't know what its name is. It's going to be this $30,000 midsize electric pickup truck built on this new universal platform. All we see of it is just like a little corner of the windshield and, a little bit of a door panel. We don't see it at all. We see the reactions from the employees, and they're all, of course, absolutely delighted to be there and are very impressed with the vehicle. I'd love to get to see this thing myself. But while they're talking about it here, again, we hear about, that reduction in the wiring, kind of a skateboard design, some of these things that we're sort of starting to expect in modern electric vehicle design.
It's here. You can touch it. You can feel it. That is the size of the main body and wire harness. Wow. And it is not needed with a hoist to pick it up, to dump it, to then move it.
A lot of the trim components in the interior have undergone design optimizations to make things easier to assemble.
So I'm also wondering if the way things are designed, if it makes it easier for do-it-yourselfers. If connectors are more accessible, if parts are easier to get at. And then also maybe for like your local mechanic, maybe you won't have to take your truck to the Ford service center. Maybe your regular mechanic can handle it if it's a simpler design.
What we've seen is the middle, right, which is the battery.
It's a lot easier to put the seats on, huh?
It's gonna take so much stress off my...
Easier to put the seats on, huh? It sounds like the seats literally bolt to the battery pack. I don't know how I feel about that. Does that make this all easier to design and just a better, cheaper vehicle, or something happens to your battery pack? Now you got to take the entire interior out of the car to get the battery pack out. I don't know. We'll find out eventually.
Body, I cannot wait. I never thought it could be made better, but it did.
We couldn't have you guys come all the way here without seeing the truck for the first time.
So here's
So why don't you come with me and we'll take a look.
That's his middle name. He goes by his middle name.
Oh my God. Oh, wow. That's nice.
That's awesome. So the thing's like the right size.
I think I want one. Just watch how the quality is going to be on this vehicle. We're going to be number one.
It's going to impact manufacturing for years to come. The amount of innovation that I saw here today.
So it sounds like a lot of good things, innovation and reduced cost. So many good things going on in this announcement. There were a lot of details that we did not get from this. We do not know what the battery pack voltage is going to be. Is it going to be 800 volts? Who knows? Is it going to be going to that higher internal voltage architecture, 48 volts or something like that? It sounds like it. So it is going to be this $30,000 four-door mid-size pickup truck. There's no name yet. Is it going to be a Ford Ranger EV? I used to own a Ford Ranger EV. They made them in the 90s, but it was kind of a compliance vehicle at the time. So now this is mass manufacturing for everybody, which is very, very exciting. Some of the things that I saw in the video here sound a lot like the Cybertruck. If they're using more of these castings, higher voltage system instead of 12 volt. On the other hand, some of these other things are just getting to be more of what's going on in modern manufacturing with vehicles. So what do you think? If you watched the entire 48-minute release, what did you see? Did you notice anything that I missed? Were there any questions that were brought up that kind of made you go, let me know. And check out the video that I did on the original Ford EV, the Ford Ranger EV. So who knows? Maybe the next one will be the Ranger Lightning or something completely different. It's a new system, a new platform. Maybe it's time for a new name for a pickup truck. Until next time, stay charged up.